guys, it's Lindsay. Welcome back to The Wandering Reader. Today I'm going to be talking about what I got for Christmas and my December book haul. I absolutely love watching what people got for Christmas, so I thought I would make my own version of that and also talk to you about all of the books that I bought in December as well. So the first couple of bits that I'm going to show you weren't really Christmas presents, but my husband went to the Harry Potter studio tour in London with some of his students a couple of weeks before Christmas, and he said that he would get me a few bits and pieces. So I gave him a couple of things that I really wanted, and then he got me some extra things as well, which is really cool. So the first thing that he bought me was this Hufflepuff lanyard, which I'm using to keep my keys on for work. And I had a Gryffindor one before that I bought when I was in Universal in Florida a few years ago, before I discovered that actually I'm not in Gryffindor, I'm in Hufflepuff. So I thought it was about time that I bought myself a Hufflepuff lanyard, and I absolutely love it. It's really cool. It's like a school tie type of effect, but love that. He also got me, which I really love, this Hufflepuff scarf. So this is called the Vintage Hufflepuff scarf, and I absolutely love it. And just because it's so wearable, like I've been wearing it out with my coat, and it just looks like a scarf that you can wear anytime. It just goes with so much stuff, and it's so warm, and it's just, yeah, it's absolutely lovely. So I have been non-stop wearing that, and I really love it. I mean, it was expensive for a scarf, but you only buy a Hufflepuff scarf once, so yeah, love that. He also bought us bookmarks for our houses. So this is the Hufflepuff bookmark, and then he bought himself a Ravenclaw one. He has opened this and tried to use it and decided that it dents the pages in his book, which he can't handle, and quite frankly neither can I. So I think they're just going to be things that we display on our bookshelves, but they're really nice nonetheless. And then the last thing that he bought while he was there was this butterbeer mug, which I've currently got my bookmarks in. I think because you can buy butterbeer there, obviously, but then for a few extra pounds you can take home the mug that the butterbeer was in. And I was just trying to see whether it still smells of it, because I haven't actually washed it. That's a little bit horrible, but there we go. No, it doesn't smell of it, no. I'll pretend that I did wash it. So yeah, I'm keeping my bookmarks in this at the moment, and yeah, it's really handy to have it in. The last Harry Potter bit of merch that I thought I'd show you was my husband was bought this Marauders map mug for Christmas. So it's the type of one where when you fill it with hot water, the map is revealed. So I haven't had a go at doing that yet, because I'm actually using it to keep my booktuber recommends bits of paper in. So it's not really going to be used as a mug at the moment, but I thought I would show it to you in this section because it's Harry Potter orientated, and I really like that too. My husband also got for Christmas this really lovely print. It says, "Not all those who wander are lost," and it's a quotation from The Lord of the Rings, which he absolutely loves that series. So he was given this by the librarians that work at his school as like a little Christmas present, and it is so lovely, and I have decided it's definitely going up on the wall in the reading room, along with a couple of other things that I've got and that I want to buy as well. I just think it's so lovely, and I really like the antique-y looking frame as well, so that was a really thoughtful gift. My mum bought us joint presents for Christmas, and one of the ones that she bought us was this really lovely chopping board. So it says "Baked with Love," and it's got this lovely print on it. It's absolutely beautiful. And at the moment we're using it to put the mugs on when we make a cup of tea, and it looks really nice in front of the kettle. And it's just yeah, really lovely gift, and I yeah, really appreciate that. She also got us a voucher for the Comedy Store in London. She went this year and absolutely loved it, and I've never been to the Comedy Store before, so she bought us a voucher where we can book to go one particular evening and have a lovely evening out and have some belly laughs and things like that. So I'm really looking forward to booking that up and seeing the different acts that are on during the year and deciding which one to go and watch. I think that would be a really good night out. I haven't brought it upstairs because it would be a bit of a faff, but my sister and brother-in-law bought us a lovely big hamper full of Christmas food, which was so fantastic. So it had Christmas biscuits in there, it had Christmas cake, which we tried the Christmas cake and it is lovely. There were some chocolates in there. There was a bottle of sparkling juice, which she knows that we're not really ones to drink a lot of alcohol, so that was really thoughtful as well. Plus a few other bits and pieces. It was jam-packed full of stuff and it was a really, really lovely gift to receive. My father-in-law did presents from Father Christmas, so we all got something, and I got this, which is an emoji cookie stamp set. So in here, I have opened it already, there are like 3 different stamps to make cookies with, plus some cookie dough mix, and then a couple of kind of coloured icing things. So I think that would be really fun to make, and I'll definitely get around to doing that in January. Then, of course, my husband bought me a few presents, and he surprised me on Christmas morning by buying me a copy of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. This is the illustrated edition. But what was even more surprising is that when I opened it, he bought me a signed edition. So it's signed by the illustrator, who is Olivia Lemenick Gill, probably pronouncing that wrong, but I tried to get a copy of this, but it was sold out in Waterstones really, really quickly, and so he kind of went on eBay and got me, yeah, one of the ones that somebody else was selling. So it was so thoughtful of him to get this, and I'm going to really look forward to flicking through this and looking at all of the different illustrations. I mean, there are some really pretty ones in here. See if I can find one of the ones that I really like. I mean, look at this picture of a griffin. I mean, that is just absolutely fantastic. So I read Fantastic Beasts, the little book, I think last year, so I look forward to flicking through that. He also bought me a copy of The Beginning of the World in the Middle of the Night by Jen Campbell, and this is her collection of short stories that she's brought out this year, and I really, really wanted this, so I was really pleased to get it for Christmas. And of course, it's signed. So there you go. So she says, I hope you enjoy these twisted tales, love, Jen. So I think there are, like, how many are in here? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's like 12, I think, short stories in here. So I will look forward to picking those up later in 2018. He also bought me these, which are sterling silver hoops. I did have a pair of hoops, but they were like costume jewellery ones, so I wanted a pair that wouldn't tarnish or kind of go, you know, look a bit funny. So he bought me these ones, and they're really nice because they're so lightweight to wear, and I think my other ones were quite heavy, so once you'd worn them like for a few hours, it felt like your ears were going to drop off. But these are really, really comfortable to wear, so I really appreciate those. And then the last item that he bought me was a charm for my Pandora bracelet, and I'll show it to you. It is this one here, which is a Beauty and the Beast charm. So funny story about that, I picked out one that I wanted. It was like a rose gold one. When it arrived, well, not when it arrived, when I opened it on Christmas Day, I discovered that it doesn't actually fit on this particular bracelet that I've got, and that's because it was, I think, an essence charm, which is the charm for a slightly thinner bracelet that they have. So we took it back to the shop yesterday actually, and then I picked out something else, and this is the one that I've got. And I've got another Disney one on there, it's sort of sitting at either end of that. I've got Minnie Mouse at this end, if you can see that, there we go, and then my Beauty and the Beast one at the other end. So that is so, so beautiful, and I just love the fact that it's sitting on my charm bracelet now. And then I got a gift card for Waterstones from my mother and father-in-law. So we went to Waterstones yesterday and I picked out a few books that I'd had my eye on for a while, so I'm going to show you those to you now. I picked up a copy of Do No Harm by Henry Marsh. These are stories of life, death and brain surgery, and this is one that I've mentioned on my channel a couple of times recently. It's been recommended to me since I did a review of This Is Going to Hurt by Adam Kay as a non-fiction book that would be good for me to pick up, and I saw a copy of it in Waterstones and I couldn't resist. So it says on the back, what's it like to be a brain surgeon? How does it feel to hold someone's life in your hands, to cut through the stuff that creates thought, feeling and reason? how do you live with the consequences when it all goes wrong. So I think that's going to be a really, really good read, and I'm looking forward to giving that one a go. I also picked up a copy of Isla and a Happily Ever After. This is the third book in the Anna and the French Kiss series, and I've read book 2 a couple of months ago now, so I thought I would pick up the third one in the trilogy so I can finish that one off in 2018. Next up is H is for Hawk, and this is by Helen Macdonald. This is another non-fiction book that won the Costa Book of the Year award, I think 2 years ago now, and Olive from Book Olive absolutely raves about this book, so I thought I would finally pick myself up a copy of it. And this, I believe, is about the writer's experience after losing her father, and she decides that she's going to raise, I think it's a goshawk, I want to say, yeah, it's a goshawk, and it's her kind of experience of dealing with her grief and raising this goshawk. And yeah, I've heard nothing but fantastic things about it, so I'm really looking forward to that one. I finally picked up a copy of Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I've had books 2 and 3 in the Grisha trilogy for ages now, and I've been looking out for book 1, haven't been able to find it in a charity shop, so I thought I'd finally cave and buy it in Waterstones. So this is the first book in the Grisha trilogy, and I really want to read the Grisha trilogy before I pick up the duology that comes after it. I know lots of people say that you don't have to read it, but I'm the kind of person that needs to, really. So yeah. It's not actually that long. Yeah, it surprises me a little bit. I think this would be a good trilogy for my husband to read as well. So yeah. And I also picked up a copy of Winter by Marissa Meyer. This is the 4th book in the Lunar Chronicles series, and I've read books 1 and 2, so I thought I would pick up book number 4, as you know, I'm not doing a lot of hauling of books next year. I won't be doing a lot of book buying, so if I have book 4 on my shelf, it'll be there for when I feel like picking it up after Cress. Then I saw this, which is See What I Have Done by Sarah Schmidt, and I think it's April's Dying to Read book club that's going to be reading this at some point in 2018, but I have also had lots of people say very, very good things about it, and this is a retelling of the Lizzie Borden murders, I think. So it says on the back, Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41, which I believe is some sort of nursery rhyme. When I read it out to my husband, he'd never heard of it before, but I think it's some sort of a nursery rhyme. So Simon from Savage Reads has said very good things about this, so yeah, a good thriller to pick up in 2018. And then lastly, with that money, I bought A Man Called Uva by Frederick Bachman, and Lisa from Books and Spas included this in her kind of runners-up of 2017 list that she put out a couple of days ago. I'll link that video for you down below, and said that this was absolutely captivating, and a colleague of mine at work has read quite a lot of Frederick Bachman's books and has nothing but good things to say about them. So I saw this and I thought it's high time that I bought it, and again, it's quite small, so I think it will be quite a quick read, and I'm looking forward to it. The rest of the books that I've got to show you are all ones that I just generally picked up during the month of December. The first one that I've got to show you is this World Regional Maps colouring book, and I talked about this in my goals video that I put up last week, which I'll link for you if you haven't already seen that. And basically I'm going to be using it to track which countries I've read from 2018 onwards. And what I quite like about this is that it's got the individual countries in Europe, so there's all of the different ones in Europe, and then next to it, or like on the next page, it's got like a blank copy without the things on it. No, this is what I want. Yeah, and then it's got like the Europe without any borders, so when I've read the whole of Europe I can colour the whole of Europe in. I really, really like that idea, so yeah, I picked up that. A couple of books that my husband picked up in Waterstones that I'm interested in reading too. This is Red Seas Under Red Skies, and this is by Scott Lynch. This is the second book in the Lies of Loch Lamora series. He read the first one at the end of December and really, really enjoyed it, so he bought the second one, and I hauled the first one I think last month or something like that, so he said it was fabulous, so this will be another one that will go on my TBR too. And then another one that he picked up that I'm interested in is Gilded Cage, and this is by Vic James. This is the first book in a trilogy that she's writing. I believe the third book is coming out in 2018. So this sounds really, really interesting. It says on the back, Britain's magically skilled aristocracy compels all commoners to serve them for 10 years, and now it's the Hadleys' turn. Abby Hadley is assigned to England's most ruthless noble family. The secret she uncovers could win her freedom, or break her heart. Her brother Luke is enslaved in a brutal factory town where new friends' ideals might cost him everything. Then, while the elite vie for power, a young aristocrat plots to remake the world with his dark gifts. As Britain moves from anger to defiance, all three must take sides, and the consequences of their choices will change everything forever. I think that sounds really good. It's fantasy but in a historical setting. Yeah, excellent. I've got a few more here. Firstly, I won a copy of The Childfinder, and this is by Renee Denfeld. This is really ironic because Russell did a video earlier in the year where he talked about this book and said that if you mark a book as to read on Goodreads, it'll email you to say whether there are any giveaways, and then he mentioned the fact that I keep winning lots of Goodreads giveaways, and then I won this book. I just thought it was so ironic that I'd won a copy of this book. This is a thriller novel, and this is an art copy of it, so it's not the finished edition, but it says on the back, Naomi Cottle finds missing children. When the police have given up their search and an investigation stalls, families call her. Young Madison Culver has been missing for 3 years. She vanished on a family trip to the mountainous forests of Oregon, where they'd gone to cut down a tree for Christmas. But Naomi knows that Madison isn't dead. Can she find the child and also find out why this particular case is stirring the shadows of her own memories? So I'm really looking forward to reading that. Russell's had good things to say about it, and I'm actually going to be reading this in January with Lisa's Buddy Reads group from Books and Smiles. Then I picked up a copy of A Modest Proposal by Jonathan Swift. The reason I bought this is because it is like a little quote in the front of Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale, and I was just kind of intrigued to see what it was all about, and it was in this Penguin Little Black Classics edition, so I've already read this. It's got a couple of other things in here as well as the essay that he wrote. So there you go. Then I picked up Jodi Picoult's latest book, Small Great Things. This is, I believe, about a family who's got a newborn baby, and they refuse to have a black nurse look after this baby, and then one day something goes wrong and this nurse has to save the baby's life, and then there's a big kind of fallout after that. I've recently become intrigued by Jodi Picoult's books again because of Sarah over at Sarah's Nightstand, and yeah, so I thought I'd pick up her most recent one. And then the last two books I've got to show you are books 2 and 3 in a series, and they are Do Not Disturb and If You Dare by A.R. Torrey, and this is books 2 and 3 in the Deanna Madden, I think it is, series, and I bought these because I'm buddy reading them with Lisa over at Books and Smiles. We're going to be buddy reading Do Not Disturb in January, and then I guess maybe get around to If You Dare at some point after that. And I was inspired to buy these because of Snyder B Books, and she talked about the fact that she'd read this series this year and really loved them, and then I kind of commented on her video, and then Lisa commented on it as well, saying that we should buddy read them. Because I picked up the first one, I think it was at some point last year, and I absolutely loved it. Flew through it. It was such a page turner, so I thought it was high time that I read the other two. So as soon as she said that, I went and bought the books off of Book Depository. What really annoys me though is that, look, they're 2 different sizes, and I think, so this one is taller. This is because this is the American version. As you can see, it's got like an American price on the back of it. It's like one of those floppy paperbacks. I don't know whether this hasn't been published in the UK yet, but I think it's been out for quite some time. So let's just have a look. 2015. So I don't really understand why there's not a UK version of this, but I'm really looking forward to buddy reading these with Lisa in the new year. So there you go guys, they were all of the things that I got for Christmas as well as my December book haul. I'd love to have a chat with you in the comments below. What did you get for Christmas? What bookish things did you get? And what books did you buy in December that you're excited about? Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.